Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues in the House of Representatives, today, I rise to speak for 15 million silent heroes, our solo parents. They are the ones who rise before the sun to prepare the children for school, work tirelessly to make ends meet, and go to bed with their hearts heavy, wondering if their love and sacrifices will be enough. Tulad ng kahit sinong magulang sa atin. Pero anong diferensya? Pagdating sa solo parent, nag-iisa sila. Sila na yung nanay, sila pa yung tatay, sila na yung tatay, sila pa yung nanay. Yun po ang napakalaking diferensya kung bakit natatangi ang mga solo parents. Dahil nag-iisa silang itinataguyod ang kanilang mga anak. The Expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act, a law crafted by this House 2 years ago with so much hope and compassion, was meant to be their lifeline. It promised them recognition, support, and the dignity they so rightfully deserve. But instead, many of these parents find themselves lost in a system that has failed to deliver on its promise. Ang tagal nilaban ng batas, pero implementasyon ng batas, wala pa rin hanggang ngayon. Picture this, a mother who works 2 jobs, not just to put food on the table for her children. She hears about the solo parent ID and the benefits it could provide. Subsidy, discounts, medical aid, scholarships for her children. She rushes to the barangay hall or to the LGU, clutching all her documents, nanginginig pa, only to be just turned away para sabihin, sorry, wala pang solo parent ID, sorry, wala pang booklet, o kung merong solo parent ID, dahil hindi ka kakampi, pasensyahan tayo. Napupolitika pa sila. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, it pains me to say that even the most basic step in ensuring the proper implementation of this law has not been accomplished. Until now, most local government units still do not have an ID, issued required ID for solo parents. At hanggang ngayon po, kahit isang LGU, wala pa ring booklet. Kaya ako po'y nananawagan sa lahat ng lokal na pamahalaan, sana take on the challenge to have this booklets printed, considering na ilabas na po ng DOH ang guidelines with regards to discounts only to the basic of necessities, diapers, milk, and medicines para sa mga batang below 6 years old. These booklets are crucial, gateway to benefits mandated by law. Discount, ulitin ko, diapers, gamot, at gatas para sa below 6 years old. At hindi naman po lahat ng solo parents ay entitled. Yun lamang pong below 250,000 ng income na may anak below 6 years old. Maraming implementasyon ng batas ang hindi pa naiintindihan ng mga local government codes. That's why it is necessary na i-rally talaga natin ang implementation nito. Imagine the frustration of a qualified solo parent who has completed all the necessary requirements, fought through the red tape, and endured long queues at the solo parent division of the LGU, only to be told that the solo parent IDs and booklets are not available. Without this, how can they feel empowered when even the simplest promise of the law remains out of reach? Now imagine this, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. An overseas Filipino worker, a mother who spends years working as a domestic helper abroad to send her children to school. She endures homesickness, poor working conditions, and unimaginable sacrifices just to give her children a better future. The ones taking care of her child back here in the Philippines qualifies for the benefits under the law, yet they are met with red tape and indifference. Let us not forget the solo parents employed as job order workers in government who are being denied their right to the 7 days of parental leave mandated under this law. These solo parents wake up every morning to serve the public, whether as street vendors, street sweepers, administrative aides, frontline personnel in government agencies, or health workers in our hospitals. They dedicate themselves to their roles, often earning barely enough to make ends meet. Yet when their child gets sick or needs their care, they are told they are not entitled to leave because they are not regular employees. Isa lang pong halimbawa ito ng provisyon ng batas ng Amended Solo Welfare Act na hindi may implement dahil sa isang circular na inisyu ng civil service na walang employee-employer relationship ang ating mga job order or contract of service. Ngayon, ang isang batas ay hindi may implement dahil sa isang memorandum order. So meron talagang kaguluhan pagdating sa implementasyon nito. At critical na dapat tignan to, bakit tayo nagpapasa ng batas tapos hindi implement ng ating mga ahensya? How did a law meant to uplift lives become a weapon of politics, exclusion, and inequity? Those 15 million solo parents are not asking for handouts. They are not asking for pity. They are simply asking for fairness. Na ilaban na nila ang batas. Ipakita naman po natin na ini-implement natin ang mga batas na ating ipinapasa dito sa Kongreso. They are simply asking for fairness, for a chance to provide their children with a brighter future without having to beg for what is already rightfully theirs. I have met many solo parents in my work, as this has been my advocacy and personal crusade ever since. There's the father whose wife passed away, leaving him to raise 3 children alone. He struggles every day, not just with financial burden, but with the emotional toll of trying to be both the mother and the father. There's the mother who fled an abusive marriage, carrying her child in one arm and her courage in the other. And there are countless of OFWs who sacrifice time with their families so they can give their children opportunities they themselves never had. These are stories of resilience, bravery, and love. Yet, Mr. Speaker, what is the response of our system? Inconsistent implementation, indifference, and bias. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, if we cannot ensure that this law is implemented with compassion and fairness it was designed for, then we fail not just as lawmakers, but as fellow Filipinos. Gawin po natin yung ginawa natin ng budget hearing. Hindi po natin pinasa yung kanilang mga budget hanggang wala yung mga guidelines to make sure that the law is followed by their government agencies. Kaya po ngayon hinihingi ko, tumatayo po ako dito sa chamber na ito, hinihingi ko sa aking colleagues, Mr. Speaker, i-constitute na po natin ang oversight committee para sa mga solo parents to ensure the proper implementation of the law. Nandyan naman po yan sa batas, kailangan na nating i-constitute ang oversight committee na to para once and for all, lahat ng LGUs matuto paano i-implement ito, ma-brief sila kung paano i-handle ang bagay na ito at tuluyan nang ma-implement ang ating batas. Every delay, every act of discrimination, every missed opportunity to help, these are weights we add to the already heavy burdens of solo parents. Let me be clear, this is not about politics. This is about a single mother who walks to work so she can save enough for her child's school shoes. This is about a solo father who skips meals to pay for his child's medicine. This is about a job order worker in government hospital who takes on extra shifts to pay for her child's tuition, only to be told she cannot take leave to take care of the same child when they fall ill. This is about the 15 million Filipinos who, against all odds, continue to hope, to love, and to fight for a better life. Mr. Speaker, words are only meaningful if they inspire action. It is high time we translate this principle into reality by constituting the Oversight Committee in the House of Representatives to ensure proper and full implementation of this law. Such a committee would ensure that local government units, national government agencies, and stakeholders comply with the provisions of the expanded Solo Parents Welfare Act. This committee would ensure that regardless of our job order workers, our OFWs, and every solo parent, regardless of their status, are given the dignity, support, and opportunities they rightfully deserve under this law. Through this oversight committee, the necessary steps may be undertaken to equip our LGU focal persons with the proper training and tools to implement this law with consistency, fairness, and compassion. Because empowerment begins not just with the laws we pass, but with how faithfully and humanely we carry them out in the service of our people. To the solo parents listening today, please know that we see you, we hear you, and we will fight for you because your sacrifices deserve recognition and your children deserve a future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, and may we all remember that governance is not just about laws. It It is about the lives we touch and the hope we bring. Mabuhay ang mga solo parents at mabuhay ang sambayan ng Pilipino. And I rally my colleagues, please, let us constitute the Oversight Committee for Solo Parents as soon as possible. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to recognize Representative Franz Castro of the ACT Teachers Party List for interpellation.
The Honorable Franz Castro is recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Nagpapasalamat ako sa ating colleague, si Representative Bernadette Herrera, doon sa privilege speech about the solo parents, kaugnay doon sa implementation po ng Solo Parent Act. So, totoo nga po na pinagpupugayan natin, sumasaludo tayo sa ating mga solo parent dahil sa kanilang pagtataguyod ng mag-isa sa kanilang pamilya, lalong-lalo na sa mga basic needs ng kanilang mga anak. Ilan lang mga paglilinaw, Mr. Speaker, doon po sa speech about doon sa pagbibigay ng privilege. Yung sinasabi po ba natin na memo or circular ng Civil Service Commission ay exempted ang mga, halimbawa, mga contractual workers na bumubuo ng more or less 500,000 ng ating mga government employees. Tama po ba yan? Meron tayo.
Thank you very much for your question, para Miss Universe. So, thank you very much for that because that is exactly why I delivered this speech. Meron tayong batas. Nag-provide tayo ng solo parent work week na 1 week sa mga job order contracts natin, sa mga government employees.
Yes.
Now, because walang employee-employer relationship according to a civil service memorandum, so hindi makakapag-avail ngayon ng solo parent leave ang mga job orders at saka contract of service. So, na-trump up nung kanilang memo yung batas na ginawa natin, kahit the intention of the law is very clear. Entitled ang empleyado ng gobyerno regardless of your status sa 1 week leave kung magkakasakit ang inyong mga anak. Unfortunately, yun ang sagot sa akin nung huling hearing at sabi, isasama sana natin ng budget. Nagpagawa ako ng special provision sana na sabi ipapasok sa special provision ng GAA para ma-acknowledge ang job order at saka contract of service na entitled sa solo parent leave kasi may batas.
Yes.
We passed the law. Now, that provision can never see the light of day kung wala tayong gagawin.
Yes. Nag-agree ako, Mr. Speaker, no, doon sa sinasabi ni Congresswoman Bernadette Herrera. Alam natin yung spirit ng batas. Hindi yan nagsisino-sino, nagdi-discriminate ng status of or designation sa work sa ating mga government. Kasi what applies to one should be applies to all. Kung regular, permanent employee ka, dapat ano rin yan, no? Applicable din sa mga contractual. Di naman nila kasalanan, di ba? Na contractual sila. Kaya nga ipinaglalaban natin na dapat ay mabigyan na ng regular permanent position yung mga government employees na 5 years, 10 years, no, para naman ma-regular permanent sila. Kaya pati ba naman ito, Mr. Speaker, itong pagpapatupad ng Solo Parent Act ng mga provision para dun sa mga government employees na contractual ay madidiscriminate. So, Mr. Speaker, tingin natin it caused an urgent action from us. No? Kasi ang spirit kasi ng batas ay no discrimination at para sa lahat. Okay? Number 2, Mr. Speaker, yung tungkol doon sa booklet, kindly remind me kung may, ano po ba yung provision sa batas na kailangan niya may booklet? Kasi Mr. Speaker, mukhang naguluhan ako doon dahil eto nga, yung sa senior citizen, ay tinatatanggal na nga natin yung booklet. Kasi nga, alam naman natin yung senior citizen, nalilimutan nila yung booklet. Basta sapat na yung merong card o ID card na pagpapatunay na senior citizen sila, hindi na kailangan hanapan ng mga booklet. Pero ito bang Solo Parent Act? Excuse me for my baka nalimutan ko lang na may provision. May provision ba talaga na may booklet?
Yes.
Kasi baka dagdag gastos pa ito ng mga LGU. Yung 1,000 nga hindi maibigay, di ba?
Yun ang gusto nating linawin. Kaya tayo nagkaroon ng booklet because not all solo parents will have a booklet. Only solo parents with children below 6 years old. Yun lang ang entitled sa booklet kasi ang discount lang naman nila, diapers, gamot, at saka milk na related sa age na below 6 years old. At dun lang sa mga solo parents na may income na below 250,000. So, ang meron lang special sector within the solo parents, ang binigyan natin ng booklet dun sa batas. At yun lang yung may anak na below 6 years old pa, na below 250,000 ng income. Kaya hindi siya dagdag gasto sa LGU except for the printing of the booklet. Pero if you qualify it per LGU, konti lang naman yung solo parents na may anak na below 6 years old.
Okay.
So yun yung nakasaad sa batas natin ngayon.
Okay.
Kaya sila ang, kakalabas lang ng guidelines ng DOH nung budget hearing. Kasi di ba sinabi natin, hindi natin ipapasa yung kanilang budget kung hindi nila ilalabas yung guidelines. So finally, they released the guidelines as to the infant formula, the diapers, and the medicines that can be consumed by children below 6 years old ng mga solo parents natin. So
Okay.
talagang pwede nang mag-issue ng booklet for them.
Okay, so mga ilan po ba yan na porsyento doon sa mga totality?
Medyo maliit na porsyento lang naman po siya. Kasi very, below 250,000 income na may anak below 6 years old.
Okay. So, in fact, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sa clarification ng ating colleagues regarding dyan sa solo parent. And I will support our colleague, Mr. Speaker, for pushing for immediate constitution of Oversight Committee in the implementation of this law.
Thank you very much because talagang, Mr. Speaker, dilemma para sa akin yung isang provision ng batas na hindi ma-implement because of that employee-employer relationship. So I hope we can do something about it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Bernadette Herrera to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
The speech of the Honorable Bernadette Herrera